At 2:13 a.m., my phone rang inside the hospital morgue. The strange part wasn't the call. The strange part was the phone belonged to a man who had been dead for 3 hours. And when I answered it, someone whispered, "Don't let them put me in drawer 7." That's when the body bag behind me started moving.
My name is Daniel Reyes. 3 months ago, I took the only job I could find, night security at Northwood Regional Hospital. It's the kind of hospital you see in old crime documentaries, fluorescent lights, endless hallways, the smell of disinfectant and old metal. During the day, it's busy, but at night, the place feels like a giant machine breathing in the dark. The morgue was part of my patrol. Technically, nothing ever happened there, but the older guards always said the same thing: don't stay too long. Of course, when I asked why, he just laughed. On my first night, the head security guard, Mike, handed me a clipboard. "Just follow the patrol route," he said. Then he lowered his voice. "And remember 3 rules." I laughed. "Rules?" He nodded. "Yeah, rules." Then he counted them off on his fingers. Rule 1, never open a body drawer unless a doctor asks you. Rule 2, if you hear someone knocking from inside the morgue lockers, ignore it. My smile faded. "What's Rule 3? Mike stared at me for a second, then said quietly, "Never answer a phone in the morgue." I thought he was joking, but he didn't laugh. The first week was quiet, almost boring. I walked the halls, checked locked doors, watched the security cameras. Sometimes I'd stop in the cafeteria and grab stale coffee. At 2 a.m. every night, I had to check the basement. That's where the morgue was. The hallway leading there always felt colder. The lights flickered sometimes, but the morgue itself, silent. Rows of metal drawers, white tile floors, a steel examination table, and a small desk phone near the door. It never rang until the 7th night.
That night, a new body arrived around midnight. A man in his 40s. Car accident. The nurses wheeled him in quietly. They placed him in drawer 7. I remember the number because the nurse muttered 7 again. I asked her what that meant. She just shook her head. Nothing. Then they left. For the next 2 hours, everything was normal until 2:13 a.m. Part 5. The Call. I was halfway down the hallway when I heard it. The phone ringing. Inside the morgue. At first, I thought it was coming from the hallway, but no, it was definitely inside. Ring. Ring, ring. My stomach tightened. Mike's words echoed in my head. Never answer a phone in the morgue. But curiosity is stronger than fear sometimes, so I opened the door. The sound echoed across the metal drawers. Ring, ring, ring. The phone on the desk was vibrating. I stared at it, then I picked it up. "Hello?" For a moment, nothing. Then a whisper, barely audible. "Don't let them put me in drawer 7. I froze because the voice sounded wet, like someone speaking through water. "Who is this?" No answer. Then the line went dead. I stood there staring at the phone, trying to convince myself it was a prank. Maybe another guard, maybe a nurse. Then something moved behind me. A sound. Metal scraping. Slow. Quiet. I turned around, and my heart stopped. Drawer 7 was sliding open by itself. Just a few inches. Inside the body bag, something shifted. I told myself there had to be an explanation. Air pressure, mechanical fault, something. But my hands were shaking. I walked toward the drawer. Every step felt heavier. The metal handle was cold when I grabbed it. I pulled the drawer open.
The body bag was still zipped. The man inside didn't move. I stood there staring. Okay, I whispered to myself. See? Nothing. Then the bag twitched. I stumbled back. The bag moved again, slowly. Then the zipper began sliding down from the inside. My breath caught in my throat. The zipper opened halfway, and a hand slipped out. Gray skin, bruised fingers. The hand grabbed the edge of the drawer and pulled. The man sat up. His eyes were open, but they weren't normal. They were completely black.
Suddenly, the lights went out. The entire morgue went dark. The only sound was the buzzing of the emergency generator. Then the backup lights flickered on. Red. Everything turned crimson. The man grabbed my arm. His grip was freezing cold. You have to hide. What is happening? He leaned close to my ear. They're not doctors. We both heard it then. Footsteps in the hallway. Slow. Heavy. 3 people. Maybe 4. The morgue door opened. 3 figures walked in. They were wearing surgical masks, but something about them was wrong. Too tall. Too still. One of them spoke. Security. The voice sounded hollow. Step away from the body. The man beside me whispered, If they take me, you're next. I realized something terrifying. The man wasn't supposed to be dead, and these people weren't hospital staff. One of them stepped closer. Hand him over. I shook my head. I can't do that. The figure tilted its head slowly. Incorrect answer. Then it smiled, and its mask split open, revealing rows of needle-like teeth. Everything exploded into chaos. The man grabbed my arm. Run! We sprinted through the morgue door. The creatures chased us. Their footsteps were inhuman, too fast, too light. We ran through the basement halls, past storage rooms, past operating theaters. But no matter how fast we ran, they were gaining. We reached the elevator. I slammed the button. Nothing. The man cursed. They shut it down. Behind us, the hallway lights started turning off, one by one, like something was hunting us. Closer, closer, closer. Then he pointed. Stairs! We burst through the stairwell door and ran upward. 3 flights, 4 flights, 5. Finally, we reached the roof. The night air hit my face, cold and sharp. I turned around. The stairwell door creaked open. The creature stepped onto the roof, slow, confident, like they already knew we had nowhere to go.
The man beside me whispered something I'll never forget. They've been replacing people. My heart dropped. What? Doctors, patients, staff. He pointed at the hospital below us. They feed on the living. One of the creatures spoke again, returned the subject. Subject, not person. Subject. The man looked at me. If they catch me, they keep hunting. Why? Because I remember what they are. He stepped toward the edge of the roof. My stomach twisted. What are you doing? He smiled weakly. Stopping them. Then he jumped. The creatures froze. For the first time, they looked angry. One of them slowly turned toward me. Witness. I realized what that meant. They couldn't let me live. I ran again, across the rooftop, jumped to the lower maintenance platform, slid down a ladder, and sprinted into the parking lot. Behind me, the hospital lights began turning off, floor by floor, like the building itself was waking up, watching, waiting. That was 6 months ago. I quit the job the next day, moved to another state, tried to forget everything. But tonight, my phone rang at 2:13 a.m. Unknown number. When I answered, a familiar whisper said, "Drawer 7 is empty again." Then the voice asked, "Are you ready for your shift?" And the caller ID changed. Northwood Regional Hospital.